Well, let me kick off this review by telling you that I'm in a happy mood today. And that's due to this morning's run along some lovely B roads to our Carbuyer test track in this, the DS3. And if I had to sum it up in just a few words, I'd say it's a car that puts a smile on your face. So let's get some of the confusing stuff out of the way. You're probably already familiar with the DS3. And yes, this is pretty much identical to that upmarket mini rival, the Citroen DS3, that went on sale back in 2010. That car was such a success that the Citroen name has been dropped, and they've created an all-new premium division, DS Automobiles. And this car, the 3, is at the heart of it. If we're sticking with all things French, then I guess the analogy to use is that if Citroen is high street fashion, DS is haute couture. Hope I haven't lost you there. Anyway, let's just say that it looks good on the outside, and also it looks great in here where there is an awful lot to like. I'm a really big fan of the 3 gauges just there in front, and also the shape of the steering wheel, which, along with these comfortable body-hugging seats and the fact that they have plenty of adjustment in the seat and also in the steering wheel, all add together to give a really comfortable and a very involving driving experience. Now, the quality of the materials is good in here, have a nice look and feel, and there's some very clever design touches, like the contouring in the roof, which gives good headroom. I also like the way the glove box is sort of set back, giving a feeling of extra space. Although, when you open it, there's not that much space inside it. Look, it doesn't even fit the owner's manual in. But then, hey, how many of us really carry this around in the car? In terms of what equipment you get, well, this is the DS3 Prestige model, so you get quite a lot. But don't forget that one of the big selling points of DS cars is that they're more luxurious and design-led than Citroens. So even the entry-level, chic DS3s are well equipped and include niceties like a leather steering wheel, roof-coloured door mirrors, split folding rear seats, cruise control, 7-inch touchscreen display, air conditioning, active city braking and an alarm. So this model also has around £1,000 worth of extras, including this central armrest, which is very comfortable, handy to have, but I don't know if I'd bother because it makes getting to the handbrake really awkward. And my other big gripe in here is that there is nowhere for me to put this, my cup of coffee. Now, I know we've all become incredibly Americanised in our demand for cup holders, and perhaps this is a European stance on behalf of DS for good coffee that doesn't come in nasty takeaway cup. But surely they could have found space for just one cup holder in here. The good news is that the boot goes some way to making up for the lack of storage in the cabin, with space beating the Audi A1 and Alfa Romeo Mito, along with the Mini and the Fiat 500. In fact, it's one of the biggest you'll find in a car of this size, and not too far off the class-leading Renault Clio's boot. The rear seats split and fold to give even more load area, although they don't lie completely flat to the floor, and you're going to need to lift items quite high over the rear bumper. Out on the road, it's well worth remembering that whilst DS might be going it alone as a brand, the DS3 still shares much of its mechanical parts with the Citroen C3, so it's quiet and it's very comfortable. However, there have been some key changes to the chassis to improve the handling, and as a result it feels engaging and it's really good fun to drive. It's not going to make you smile as much as a Mini or maybe a Ford Fiesta, but the steering is responsive, there's plenty of power coming out of this 1.6 litre petrol engine, and just enough lean into corners to make the whole experience a fun one. If you want your Prestige Super Mini to feel like a real hot hatch, then you're going to need to go for the DS3 Performance, a full-blown production hot hatch. It boasts a 204 brake horsepower 1.6 litre turbo petrol engine, feels very fast and packs quite a punch thanks to its stiffened suspension. Now, DS claim I should be getting around 50 miles to the gallon from this engine. I've been averaging close to that, at around 40, it's fairly respectable. But if fuel economy is top of your shopping list, then what you'll want to go for is one of the 2 diesel engines on offer, both of which are extremely frugal. In terms of the gearbox, depending on what engine you go for, you have a choice of 5 or 6-speed manual or an automatic. Now, we'd recommend this. It's the 6-speed manual. It's just far nicer to use. And that extra gear is a welcome addition when you're on the motorway or a fast dual carriageway. However, one of my gripes is that it's not available on entry-level models, which is a shame as it's just a better gearbox. Another downside is that unlike many of the cars in this class, it's only available as a 3-door. However, the The doors do open nice and wide and the seat does slide forward. But even so, getting in the back of here is not something that an adult would want to do on a regular basis. And once you're in here, you discover that headroom isn't that brilliant in the back. So taller adults certainly aren't going to want to be in here for too long a journey. However, having said that, legroom isn't too bad. There are 2 Isofix child seat points. You've got 3 seat belts and you would easily fit a child here in the middle along with a couple of adults. And there are some nice little touches like grab handles and little storage compartments. I've definitely seen smaller in the back of a car.
It's also worth pointing out that because DS are establishing themselves as a premium brand, this isn't an inexpensive buy.
But even taking those concerns into consideration, I know that my drive home will be just as enjoyable as the drive here.
If you're in the market for an affordable and chic small car, then check out our review of the Fiat 500. But if you want something a little more expensive, with even more driveway appeal, take a look at our mini hatchback review. Click the icon in the corner to see our latest video and don't forget to click the logo to subscribe.